Hey guys, I know there was a lot of questions about how to stay warm in this game, so I wanted to try to help out by sharing what I found. First of all, you're going to need the Polar Expedition. If you have nothing else, this will do you a lot of good. So you need to go over here, grab the Polar Expedition. If you look at it, it allows you to make thermomium. That allows you to make helium, and later on coldium if you need it in the hot zones. But what that does, and thermomium, the base one, is made in a supply workbench. I think you can actually make it in your little camp too. So plop down a camp, you'll see that there it is, thermomium. Make it right there. And you can also make the next thing, which is helium. Helium, when it's inside your backpack, it gives you frost resist. This is a big deal because in the nights, and as you're playing, your character will start to freeze. Your torch, holding your torch out, which if you notice in the top right of my screen, it says it's 20 degrees Celsius. I believe that's your character's like body heat, like what's happening right now. Not that he's 20 degrees Celsius, but that he's increasing by 20 degrees Celsius, and that's good. So right now, as you can see, it's in the blue zone. As soon as he puts his torch away, it goes down by 5 degrees. If he takes his torch back out, it goes up by 5 degrees. So he's increasing by 20 degrees Celsius. That's good. If you look in that little segment, you can see that it is gray, and that means that he's got a warm, comfortable temperature. He's doing all right. He's not going to like burn any extra calories, and he's not going to like freeze to death. If it falls down into the blue category, you're starting to get into hypothermia territory, and your character will freeze to death promptly afterwards. And it'll give you warnings at the top of your screen saying, hey, you're getting too cold, your character's going to use more food and like all that energy and stuff. And then it'll say, after a little bit longer, it'll say, hey, you're starting to freeze to death. You've hit hypothermia. You have 30 seconds before you die. And so that's your like, hey, you need to set down a camp. What I've found you can do is if you enter a home zone or if you enter a camp zone, it'll say you're protected, and it'll say that heat stroke and hypothermia will not kill you. And so you need to like pop down a camp as fast as possible and like basically stay there until you can warm up a bit. The other thing that's cool is that because of the helium, you can use that. So it just has to be in your inventory, in your backpack. And it's right here, and its effect does not stack, by the way, but it increases your cold resist and your frost resist. So that's good to know. Like, whenever it's cold out, your character will be more resistant to it. So it's harder for him to freeze. Just like that, you see at the top of the screen it says night falls, minus 10 degrees Celsius. You have to be careful. If you're out and you're used to just exploring at all hours, that's fine. But you do have to be aware that like you can freeze to death more easily at night. Also, if you try to go through the water, it'll be very bad for you because it gives you a debuff where basically you're damp and your character will freeze. Another thing you can do is if you go through the cooking over here in logistics, you can see we have stoves, we have dishes. You can look through here. There are different ones we can do. And over here at dishes 2, on the second tier of logistics, you can see you can make salty roasted spike tomato. Now what you need for this is you're going to need salt and a spike tomato. But if you have those, it's right here, you can get this. And this will further increase your cold resist by 10. So that's another thing you can do. You can eat those. I've seen these spike tomatoes everywhere. You can grab these, you can cook them up. You can even cook them up in a camp. So like if you're out and you're exploring and you're like, oh no, I forgot, like, I'm freezing to death kind of thing. You can pop down your camp, you can get that going, and you can eat your spike tomato, which is right here. It looks just like the hawthorn berry things, but instead it gives you a little buff. You can see it right here. It says cold relief. You have an additional 10 cold resist, which it doesn't tell you that you actually have, the helium activating, but yeah, there it is. Helium burns out. It wears off every 60 minutes. So, but you can just come back to, you can get some charcoal and then you can like reapply it. So if you look right here at the cost of some charcoal, and the thermium, which it reverts to thermium when it like cools off. You can like basically you're carrying around an ember with you, and the ember helps keep you warm a bit. And whenever it runs out, you can just restoke that fire with some charcoal. So I hope that helps, guys. I've been having a lot of fun. I hope you guys are too. If you have any thoughts or questions, just let me know. I'm glad to help. Okay, good luck, have fun, happy hunting.